Simon Pagenaud, if you could describe this dinner with racers in one word, what would it be?
Hippopotamus.
Say that again.
Hippopotamus.
What does that mean?
And now for Dinner with Racers, presented by
Continental Tire.
with your hosts, Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman.
Placeholder radio sound. I'm a driver. I'm very angry. This is the sound of a driver on the radio during a race.
What do you think I should order?
Welcome to Dinner with Racers. I'm Ryan Eversley alongside my co-host Sean Heckman.
Yep.
And we are currently wrapping up our Dinner with Racers tour across the country. We're working on mile 8007 on the odometer here, and we've been running on Continental tires inside my Acura MDX the entire time. We've crossed something like 20 states, and we're going to bring you 27 different dinners with racers, all for you to criticize later on the internet.
So, speaking of hard work, we're going to sit down for lunch with one of the hardest working drivers in IndyCar, none other than Simon Pagenaud. Simon is the ultimate sort of classic success story in open wheel, which is harder and harder to find. You know, he comes from Europe, does a season of Atlantics, goes out, wins the championship, gets a scholarship to go out and run some bigger programs, goes over to Champ Car, does well, team folds, series changes, out looking for a job again, finds a job, that job goes away. It's this story forever. Somehow all that transpires in him now being a Penske IndyCar driver.
He's the guy that Penske said, I want to start a fourth team for. No one else has had anywhere near that much of Penske's support other than the three-man guys he's had for years. So a lot is riding on his shoulders. He didn't have a great 2015, and he talks about why and what he's looking for into the next season. And he's just an all-around honest dude. He was funny. He made funny faces. He did impressions of Will Power.
He's French, so of course we naturally hear a lot about cheese.
And we learned about raclette.
Raclette.
And the funny thing about Simon is that he brought his best friend and his best friend's family and his lovely girlfriend, Haley. So we had a whole entourage show up. And
like 8 French people.
Right, and so we assume that's what happens when you drive for Penske. One of my favorite people to interview because I consider him a friend, and he's also just a really down-to-earth guy, especially even after all his success. He talked about the highs and lows of his career, as well as just talking about the fun stuff of living in America, like going to Waffle House.
Waffle. Once again, thanks to Acura for giving you the car to get there. Thanks to Continental for making this entire thing possible. Let's hear Simon.
Wee wee.
All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So this is how we know you've made it, because you already have a posse.
Yeah, you have an entourage.
We have an entourage now.
Oh, wait.
That's
he might not know what that other word means.
Oh.
A posse.
Posse.
I didn't know what that meant. No.
Okay, yeah. Good call, actually. Good catch. So, posse.
Yeah.
SSE.
No, I know that. I knew the other one, but
So, so a posse would be like if you were an old Western cowboy. All your
Everybody with
crew is
horses
your
and-
posse.
yeah.
There you go.
So we're learning stuff today.
Just like Tony Stewart.
Right, just like that. So you went go-karting last night with the Penske guys?
Yes, yeah. So it's called the Shake and Bake race.
Weird.
Huh.
So did you
Shake
wear
and
a
bake.
Perrier suit?
No,
Or no?
I guess it started even before I was there.
Oh, really?
So it had nothing to do with me and being Jean Girard or whatever it's called.
You know what he's called.
Yes. Talladega Nights.
Mhm.
So it was fun. It was raining.
Yeah.
And it was pretty eventful.
I've
There's
been
a lot
there.
of spinning out there.
I've been there a few times in the rain, and it's slick. And then the brakes are rear disc,
Yes.
so it's easy to lock it up. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And the grass is very wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it both NASCAR or is it just
Yeah.
IndyCar? And
Everyone from Penske that want to do it can do it.
Yeah.
So it was
Oh.
about 30 mechanics, engineer, design engineer.
Right.
So it's great because it's also great for bonding, you know.
Sure.
Obviously, there's 350 people there.
Yeah.
So
So-
who can wheel that we wouldn't know?
Well, we have Travis. Travis organized the race, and
Yeah.
he drives pretty
What
good.
does
He's the
Travis
crew
do?
chief at on the 3 car
Okay.
on the Castro Neves.
Oh, Castro Neves.
Castro Neves car, and on the IndyCar side,
Alright.
and Who else drove well? Pat Stewart is one of the tire changer, and also a PR guy, and he drives really
That's
well.
weird. So you have a PR guy that actually does stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's a PR guy. He doesn't
Yeah, I'm
change tires.
completely useless.
I can
So-
see. Yeah.
This is gonna go well.
Was Ryan Blaney there?
No, Ryan didn't come.
He's
no.
very good in the wet there.
Is he?
The first time I went there, it was myself, him, his friend Bubba Wallace that races
Yep.
NASCAR with him, and then a couple. Sean Rahal, I don't know if you know
Yes.
him. Yeah.
Yes.
And a few others, and we go there, and it's pouring rain, and they were closed, but they had a corporate event, so they're like, none of these guys want to go out. So if you want to go out until it dries up, go at it.
Uh-huh.
So the five of us went out there, we were like knocking down barriers and crashing huge, but Blaney was really,
He was
really
really
good.
good.
He and I had lunch. This is probably like a year ago now. Or it was right after you joined, and he had met you and Montoya at like a meet and greet or something.
Yeah.
And he said he went up to you guys and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm Ryan," and you guys were like, "Oh hey, nice to meet you." Like, and had no idea
Just
who he
thought he
was,
was a fan.
or at least that's what he thought. He was like, "Yeah, I think they think I work in like the carbon shop." Or something. Yeah.
No, we knew who he was. He's a great guy, actually.
Yeah.
I just saw him this morning. We're doing an event
Yeah.
at Penske. He's a great guy.
He's very
really
fast.
growing
Yeah.
into his role.
Yeah.
It's cool to see.
Yeah,
He's really good.
he could
really
be the
good.
next Keselowski
I
or
think
Logano over there.
he's gonna
for sure.
be the next star for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does anyone show up to that thing taking it way too serious?
To
You
that
know,
go-kart race?
like there's like a
Or-
fuel guy who's like, if I
Oh,
can
yeah.
beat Pagenaud,
What-
maybe Roger
I
will
was gonna
call
say,
me.
or is it? Are you the one that shows up too serious? Like full suit,
No,
helmet,
well,
gloves.
I had the
They're like,
suit,
"Whoa,
but they were
hey."
like way more prepared. So hang on, it's raining, right? Yesterday it was raining, like let's say in English, cats and dogs, and we show up with my French friend. And we're called the French Connection, but we had no rain suit. I had my little Puma shoes that you can see through.
Nice. Yeah. Got holes in them everywhere.
And after basically 2 laps, I'm soaked and I weigh probably 20 more pounds, and everybody else has a rain suit, and everybody is well equipped, and we just showed up like that. So I guess it was reverse role.
Yeah, right. So how you liking Charlotte over Indy?
Yeah, I love it. It's big upgrade actually in
Yeah.
terms of weather, of
Mhm.
course. It's great for training because I can run. I run a lot.
Yeah.
I love running, and it's good for my cardio. And there's it's such a convenient place here. Like I'm a mile away from my gym, a mile away from the store. If we need something from the grocery store, where in Indy, where we were was not ideally placed, so we had to drive 20 minutes everywhere.
Right.
So again, gain a lot of time. I can organize myself better.
Sure.
But it's the biggest thing is for me. I always feel like I need to be close to the race team.
Yeah.
Just because relationship is everything in racing. Communication.
Mhm.
To extract the best out of everybody, and I thought being here would be the best. And Haley loves it, so we have a great time. We have a beautiful house on the lake.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
On Lake Norman.
Yes.
That's the place to be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, very nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we just came from Indy. We actually had lunch with Derek Walker, who
Yes.
you know very well.
Yes.
And then who's after Derek Walker?
Brian Clausen.
Brian Clausen, who's he raced the Indy
Yes.
500 this year.
Yeah.
He's a USAC
Yeah,
guy.
Brian's really cool.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
And so we spent a little short time in Indy, and
How's Derek?
he's I think he's a little bit bummed out right now
Is he?
because he admitted to us that he spent so much time focusing on the IndyCar job that he didn't really think about or find the time to find another program for his guys.
Yeah.
So he's hoping for something to come along in the GT side, but he was kind of like, eh.
Don't know yet.
So
Yeah.
funny enough, he didn't understand what this was, even though we explained it to him in
Yeah.
previous emails. So the day of, he's like, you don't need your recording equipment.
He's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to our meeting. All right.
We actually brought
That's
him.
funny.
We brought him a sandwich, and he just made fun of us the whole time for it. And it was just a turkey club, and he's like, "I wouldn't eat that." Like, okay.
Bring me sushi.
Yeah, right, exactly. Where's my lobster?
You gotta take him to Tigray if you want him to be happy.
Yeah.
You have to take him to
That's where we went
Tigray.
yesterday.
Yeah.
The tech where we with
Oh,
Sarah.
yeah.
We
On
had-
86th Street. Yeah.
yeah, we went there yesterday with Sarah Fisher.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that place is excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's
really,
really
good.
good,
Yeah, I
yeah.
used to be there all the time when I was in Indy.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we had lunch with Sarah Fisher, and then we drove down here last
Okay.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Derek was funny.
Sarah is building a kart track, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Indoor thing. It's gonna have a banked oval inside.
Indoor and wow and
And it's-
wow.
It's right across the street from the speedway. She said.
Okay.
Very close to it.
Wow.
They have a 2-level road course, and then they have a banked oval, which I gotta see that.
Oh
sounds
yeah, that would be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good idea. Nobody does it.
yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like you won't. That's awesome. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, she was
We should
cool.
go race there someday.
Yeah, right.
Oval.
And oval stuff?
on the
Do
oval
you like the
stuff.
oval stuff?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I grew to love it.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, when I'll tell you some stories. Obviously, Gilles de Ferran is a really good friend of mine, and he's a bit my mentor. And he was here at Penske. And anyways, when I first started in IndyCar, he said, the oval, you're going to take it seriously, you're going to respect it. And kind of scared me away right
Sure.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, it
And then-
sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. When people talk to you about it, it's terrifying. Everybody makes such a big deal out of it. It is a big deal because you're traveling at super high speed.
Right.
But I got on. I was still shaking when I was driving the first few
Your
times.
hands are like tight.
Yeah, like, what's going to happen here? They're telling me all this stuff. And, I took it step by step. I took it easy at the beginning on purpose because I knew I had time to grow into it. And obviously at Penske, we have the best cars on oval. The
Yep.
cars are awesome to drive. It's a lot easier than when you have a bad car
Yeah.
or a decent car, but the cars are just perfect. So it makes your life a lot easier. And I just love it now. It's it's such a tactical sport. It's when you look from the outside, you're like, oh, there's not much to it. But from inside, it's all about the right draft, the right positioning of your wings
Yeah.
underneath the car in front of you, and the practice is so important. Getting ready for the qualifying, getting ready for the race is tremendous compared to a road course. How much you have to be on point and sure about your decision on the
Right.
car. I'm still amazed how precise of a sport it is.
Now, is that something that you think is a strong suit of yours now, or you feel like because you're with Penske and they're bringing the best stuff that now you can like go into a weekend knowing you're a threat?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Indy was a perfect example because prior to being at Penske, you weren't necessarily known as an oval guy. You were known as sort of a road course guy. And then Indy, I would say, was one of your strongest performances all year.
It
where
was,
all
yes.
through practice, you were the man. You were right there at the end. How has that sort of matured for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a surprise, to be honest, because we didn't test. We had zero testing on oval
Yeah.
before Indy.
Wow.
I didn't know about the new aero kit, the Chevrolet aero kit. I didn't know how that was going to behave, and I had no idea about the Penske package compared to what I was
Sure.
used to. So I just said, just put Helio's car on, and I'm just going to go try it. And man, Helio likes a car that's really responsive and really, he leans his head and the car turns. And at first I was like, wow, this is different. Then I just adapt to it and made a few changes for me, and the whole month was a dream. The car was amazing. I just managed to run in traffic with Montoya, with Castroneves, and I just observed what they were doing, and it really helped me to understand what it was going to be like. And yeah, definitely I feel like if you look at Fontana, Pocono, and Indy, that was my strongest
Yeah.
performance
Which
of
for
the
you
year.
is surprising because you're
Yeah.
road course specialist.
So I guess I learned well, but there's so much more to learn.
Right.
So the thing is in IndyCar you need to focus on 3 different skills, which is road course, street course, and oval, and short oval as well.
Yeah.
So during the winter last year, I spent a lot of time focusing on super speedways. Now I need to spread a little bit my attention on everything a little bit more. But
Right.
I feel like going back to Indy, with what I know now, I think we're going to be a good threat.
How happy were you with the season with Penske?
Well, not happy, no.
Yeah.
Not much.
I didn't
not
want to say
happy.
that. I was going to let
Yeah.
you say it, but go on.
No, I'm not
Right.
happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I fought for the championship the last 2 years
Right.
with Schmidt, which is an excellent team, great people, but certainly not the resources we have at Penske.
Right.
The car at Penske are a lot better. No secret. It's just they go into so much research. I mean, the cars are just very, very strong. We have the way the cars are prepared is really reliable, is really fast, and then we have everything we need elsewhere. It's all the shaker test that they do, the wind tunnel test.
Right.
But it was a new team. The 22 team was a brand new team, 4th car. And
Yeah.
Penske's never ran 4 car in 50 years.
For you, that's got to be a huge, just massive amount of confidence inspiring situation for you because you're the one person that they said, okay, we'll add a 4th car for you, because other people have wanted to be that 4th car, or sometimes even the 3rd car, and they didn't
Yeah.
have the money, but they literally were like, we'll make this work for you. We want you that bad.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. You won the lottery.
That was
You know,
pretty
like,
much the
that's-
case.
that's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. The day actually, we were in vacation the day it happened with Haley, and I couldn't believe it. It was like I was on cloud 9. It was unbelievable. Roger called me right away, and welcomed me to the family, as
Yeah.
he calls it, and said, "Here is my cell phone. Call me any time of the day or the night, no problem." And from that moment on, you become part of the family, the Penske family.
Yeah.
They're very loyal, and Tim Cindric or Roger, they do everything they can to put you in the right situation. So I felt very honored that I was that guy. The thing that I didn't realize is how much time it was going to take to actually get the team going,
Mm-hmm.
and my role. I had to become the leader of that new team that was coming up, and maybe I didn't embrace it enough. This year I didn't. I trusted the system, but it was the fourth car, and I think I needed to be a stronger leader. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm going to do next year.
Right.
To push everybody a bit more, to motivate everybody, and to make ourselves a better team. But it is racing is all about time. You can't just show up and beat everybody. Dixon's been with these guys for more than a decade. Castroneves has been around a long time. Not just him, but his crew,
His guys.
his guys. So there's been shuffling around. It's not all the guys he had in the last 15 years, but he knows where he's at. He's been around Penske for a long time.
You've been a part of some really big programs, Peugeot factory, the Honda stuff, then Schmidt, obviously. Is it because it's Penske and it's your first year, you don't want to go in and ruffle feathers and be the fourth car guy that's then going, hey, this is what I need, and you're not sure how they react to that stuff yet? I just got my dream job with real time in the Acura, and I know I can win races and be quick in GT cars, but it's my first year there, and they've been doing it for however long, and my teammate owns the team plus is like a 14-time champion or something, so I can't go in and be like, oh, fix this or this. But halfway through the year, they were coming to me saying, hey, we want you to push us on this and tell us what you want. And so I slowly got more aggressive with the way I was handling my situation. Is it a similar thing where you're who you are and that you can win in that level, but you're new and it's Penske?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that kind of the deal?
Yeah, I think I was a little shy to begin with, and despite, having been strong teams, like you said, Peugeot was a similar organization with a lot of people, 9 huge drivers that all came from Formula One except me. So,
Meh.
Yeah, exactly. So, but here you have Montoya, Castroneves, 3-time Indianapolis champion, and Will Power, who everybody knows he's super fast on one lap stuff. He was the reigning champion as well. Yeah. So you just show up there, and you're trying to kick their ass the last 3 years, and you just show up here. I've done different stuff for sure. We've done things differently in the past, and then I showed up in the team with the same engineer I had before, and all of a sudden, you just need to adapt to the system. I think it was necessary to just blend in.
Yeah.
But certainly I could have been maybe a little bit more aggressive, but the result didn't come. And when you don't have results, you can't really say this my way is the right way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
And somehow I just wanted to adapt to the process, the
Right.
Penske way, which I love. But like you said, you know who you are as a racer, as a person, and I need to just be myself.
Right,
And
exactly.
And you
that's my
don't-
plan next year.
I mean, we don't know each other, but you don't strike me as a guy who's like pounding his fist on the table, like it must be this way.
I would disagree, actually. I would say the Simon I know is that, like, okay, it needs to be this way because this is how we're going to win, so let's go do that. Like, you're very to the point and direct, but again, it's Penske.
Yeah.
You know,
so you
and
wanna be
you
that
don't want
guy.
to be the new guy
You're
who's
right.
yelling when all the other 3 guys, well, we're getting top 5s, and you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
So you got to
It's-
work your way into being that.
Yeah, you
way.
gotta show your strengths first. I feel like first my teammates are so strong. You
Yeah.
just need to show that you can be at their level or stronger, and then take it your way. But I gotta earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I feel like I have to. I have to show that I can earn it. Obviously, I brought a lot to the table this year. That's not being seen, but I've brought quite a bit to the table. That was interesting to the other drivers and engineers. But now is a different time. It's my second year. This is time to succeed. Time to execute, I should say.
Right.
And before we look at results, it's more about execution. And like you said, Ryan, it's about being able to say, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to be, and let's do it this way.
Yeah.
Let's be strong.
Yeah. One thing that surprised me, you told me a long time ago, was the Peugeot team. You kind of hinted that they didn't treat you guys like superstars, even though everybody was a superstar. They treated you guys like plug and play, parts of the car, like a
Yes.
set of shocks. Like, yeah, that's neat. Get in the car and go. but you were handed like the torch, like the pride of France, so to speak, to chase down the Germans on the last like double stint or whatever at Le Mans.
Yeah.
So you've had some pretty awesome things happen to you, and you're still so humble, which is like, I refer to two people that I've met that encouraged me to continue to go the direction I want to go in my career. You and Hans Stuck, because we drove like the year you raced at Le Mans, like together. 3 months after
Yes.
Le Mans is when you and I drove together, and you were just happy to have a crappy sandwich and drink a Coke and sit on the side of the trailer and talk. And Hans Stuck I worked with on a ride and drive once, and he's director of Volkswagen still, I think, Motorsports. And he was standing in a parking lot in Las Vegas for like 9 hours in 100-degree heat with a bunch of mopes like us. And at the end of the day, we're like, hey, we're going to go get a beer. Do you want to go? And he's like, I'd love to go, but I have to fly to Le Mans over on the red eye. And we're like, oh, right, you're still in charge of
Still the guy.
Volkswagen. Is that something that you pride yourself on by being, the same person you are? Obviously, you're here with your best friend from years ago,
Yes.
and you stay true to your roots. Is that what I can say about you?
Yeah, I think I'm just myself.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's a funny thing. I feel like the guys that we remember as racer. Okay, there's some like a Rick Mears. You remember him as a guy like that, right? A guy that's respectful, that's super good on the racetrack, super good driver, amazing driver, but also respectful of everything. But you also remember guys like Schumacher, right? Who's a workaholic, but not very respectful of his competitors. But we remember him as one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Senna was nothing else.
Ruthless.
He was
Yeah.
ruthless.
Yeah.
Nobody, everybody remembers him as, the star that we call him, Ayrton Senna, who he's my idol, he's
Yeah,
my hero.
Same.
But he was ruthless. Sometimes I think, maybe I should be ruthless too, but that's not me. I'm just who I am. I've dreamt to be here today. I've dreamt to be driving for Penske since I'm 4 years old, and my passion became my job, and my dream became reality.
Yeah.
So I'm always very thankful for it. I think when you look at people around you, my friends, I'm so thankful to have them, and they're still around despite me not calling them every day.
Right.
I'm very thankful for my life. So I just want to enjoy it, and I want to finish my career being happy that I extracted the best out of myself. And I don't feel like I haven't felt once that I've done a perfect race yet.
Right.
So how could I be pretentious about it and ruthless when I don't do a perfect job yet?
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's how I think about it. And I feel like everybody can bring me something. I can learn from anyone. I learned from you, Ryan. Your attitude at the racetrack when we met at Laguna Seca. I was like, wow, this is interesting to see the relationship you had with your mechanic. So friendly, but still you got in the race car and you were down to business. And I thought that was really cool. I learned from that. Learning from Montoya, his attitude is interesting. Seeing how he sometimes dislikes things, but still does it in a way that you don't know he dislikes it.
Right.
He wouldn't be pissed off if I said that.
Yeah.
But Elio, for example, he's being himself. Everybody thinks he's acting, but no, he's himself.
That's how he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who
Yeah.
he is. The guy you see on TV is Elio. So I'm trying to learn from everyone and
Sure.
try to become a better person, better
Right.
driver.
What don't we know about Roger Penske?
I think.
Is he like a reality TV show fan
Yeah,
or
he's sitting in
something?
his office
He's
watching
watching-
cat videos.
Wow, I wouldn't know that, to be honest. I don't know.
You can't look him in the eye.
Does he like text you late at night, like, "What's up? Want to get a beer?" Yeah.
I wish. I wish. I think. Well, probably everybody knows that, but I don't think he ever took a vacation.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it.
Like the other day, I asked him. I said, "Why don't you sometimes, get a vacation on your boat or something?" And he said, "Vacation for what?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that."
I don't think I could picture him wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yeah,
could see him
yeah.
wearing shorts.
Have you ever
with
seen him
like
laugh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. He actually, he enjoys. He's all about racing. He
Yeah.
loves racing. I
Yeah.
mean, he goes to every NASCAR race, almost every NASCAR race, every IndyCar race, and he flies in the morning, do the race, code a strategy for Helio,
Yeah.
and the next morning he's in England doing business in his one of his dealership.
Right.
You know, it's incredible.
My
It never
favorite
stops.
thing about him is that he goes to the IndyCar races before he goes to the NASCAR races.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool to me.
where
That
his
it's true to
loyalty
his
is.
roots, like where he came from. And we were in Derek Walker's office the other day. He's got a picture of their Penske. It was like 81 or something, 1980 or 81.
Yeah.
It's the second Penske they ever built because the first one, Derek Walker claims
Yep.
it's the first original Penske because it was the second
Oh, it
car
was
they
like
built.
79.
The first one was a
Yeah.
copy of a McLaren.
Okay.
So he's like, this is the one that we did on our own. It was our own car. But Roger's the signboard guy. And he's like hanging over the wall like, yeah, get it. It's like, and I'm like, that's Penske, right? He's like, oh, yeah, he was on it.
Yeah.
Like hands on.
He's still he's still spotting for Keselowski as well.
Yeah, I saw him in the stands, I think at Phoenix or something. He was like standing up in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a good story. I was at the Brickyard this year with him, and we were. He has his own spot up in turn 1 on the inside of the track, and
Right.
he's there. He's got the headset on, and it was really hot. Like I was struggling.
Yeah.
Okay. And Roger goes up the stairs, walking as fast as me. Obviously, you can only respect that because of his age, right?
Yeah.
And the guy's in such good health. And he goes up there, and he stood there the whole race, drank a few water, but not too many, and just stood there. Didn't even rest on the guardrail. Nothing. It's just unbelievable. It's so passionate. It's
Right.
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's his thing. He's found his
Yeah.
his calling for sure.
Would he ever put you in one of those?
I'm sorry.
Would he ever put you in a stock car?
I would love to. I don't know if he would, but
He's probably like, well, we'll have to look at the numbers.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think he's all about
He
numbers.
just wants to win. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So a few of the things I really enjoy about you as a racer is that you'll get in anything. Like
Mhm.
when I first heard about you as
Good
a Honda
transition
guy.
right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
See how we did that?
That was amazing.
But you did the 25 hour in the Honda Fit
Yeah.
like 6 years ago or
Yeah.
something.
I was doing 2 cars.
Yeah, and the stories that I was hearing from that was that you drove like 6 hours straight or something in one of
Yes.
them, and they were literally like, "Hey, Simon, we pit for fuel. We're gonna drive your change." You're like, "No, I want to stay in." And you drove a B-spec Honda Fit, which has like 80 horsepower,
Mhm.
for like the whole night, and
Yeah.
all these like Honda engineers are wanting to get in and drive. And you're like, "No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
That's got to be the slowest car you've ever raced."
Ah, but I
And
love
you're
that
loving
thing.
it. Yeah.
I love that thing because it brakes so late because it's so slow.
There's nothing to it.
But in the meantime, it's so nimble. It's so light. I had such a blast, and I was passing cars with that thing. So
Yeah.
I had a great time. It was awesome. And it was raining, changing condition on slicks. Oh, it was the best time of my life.
Yeah. Shortly after I heard those stories, you and I drove together, and I was super intimidated because I'm gonna have to drive with a factory Peugeot driver. I'd never raced at Laguna before. I'd been there a bunch.
Oh, is
but
that
yeah,
right?
I'd never driven there
Cool.
before, so I was like, ah. And I remember I asked you like an idiot. I knew the answer, and I still asked. I'm like, "You've been here before, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, I was here," and not at all in a cocky or arrogant way. You're like, "Yeah, I was here in Atlantic's Champ Car, P2, P1. Yeah." Yeah, and I was like, yeah, got it. But you didn't mean it in like you weren't rude at all. But the best thing that happened that weekend was that one of our teammates was there, and he wasn't driving. I don't remember if you remember this, but we were looking at in-car, and it was my video, and you and I are sitting together looking at it, and the kid thought it was, it was your in-car, and the kid thought it was my in-car. And he's I don't know if you remember, is it Andrew? He had broken ribs.
No, I don't
Okay, so
remember.
he wasn't driving, so he was like supporting the team.
No, yeah, I don't
And he's looking over our shoulders. He's a young kid. And he's trying to impress somebody or something. And he says, "Oh, you missed the apex there in turn 5." And you're like, "Oh, did I?" Okay, you like turn back and look at him. You're like, "Oh, I'll work on it." And you weren't rude at all. You weren't like, "Do you know who I am?" Like throw a drink in his face. And I'm just sitting there like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Shut up, kid. Shut up, kid." And you're like, "Oh, I'll work on it. Thanks." And I was like, "Okay, be like this guy forever. Just be humble."
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I still tell people that story because it's so funny. Because you were like, "Oh, was I? All right, I'll figure it out." I'm like, "Grr." But you love it here. You love it in America. Do you have like an American, like, if you were to make, because I could make a French
After a few
accent
beers, I'm
and
pretty
try-
good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you sound like?
I don't know. I think
Like Clint Eastwood or something from a movie, like.
I don't sound like anybody. I think I don't think so.
Do you do impressions at all?
No,
No.
no. I
'Cause-
would try, but
Do you have a willpower?
yeah, I think I do actually. So I do what did he do the other day? So it was about like, oh wait, I made fun of him. If you come to a if you come to the IndyCar race, you will be able to get your Verizon phone, and he speaks slow like that.
Yeah.
And mate, what are you doing, mate? What's going on? With his big eyes like that.
Right.
Small eyes.
We had lunch with Oriol Servia, like it seems like a year ago now, but it's like
Yeah, it
2
was
weeks
like 2
ago.
weeks
His Montoya
Yeah.
impression. Do you have one of those?
No, that would be.
Orioles was just like,
Oriol's was fantastic. It
he
was.
was like,
Oh yeah, that's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay.
You and Will Power used to be pretty close,
Yeah.
and then had a bit of a falling out like 2 years ago, or whatever,
Yeah,
or last
yeah,
year. You
yeah.
guys are getting into it all the time.
Yes, we did.
Is that back on? You guys good now? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
we're
it's
good.
not a big deal,
Well, you know, we're teammates, so we need to work together.
right? But like, you can still hate him if you want.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's funny.
was
It's a love-hate relationship with Will. You know,
Yeah.
he's like he could be my best buddy. If we didn't race, I think we'd be best friends.
Yeah.
Because we have a somehow, and people won't believe this, but we have a similar sense of humor.
Right. So tell me why you love living over here. Is it just the
Back to it.
opportunities, you know, or
Yeah, well, you know, initially, so I moved here. I moved in the US when I was 21, so I'm 31. So this is number 10.
Yeah.
10 year. About 8 years in Indianapolis. And the decision came from at the end of 2005. I was racing in Europe, and I thought, what are the opportunities to become a professional driver? And there was some opportunities in Japan, and some opportunities here in the US. And the biggest thing was for me the Atlantic Championship
Yeah.
was the $2 million prize bonus
Right,
that
sure.
year for
Yep.
the winner. I was like, let's try this. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just go back to France
Try
and
Japan.
take care of a family business.
Yeah. What is the family business?
Grocery store.
Really?
A big supermarket. Yeah, my dad owns like a Super Target kind of
Okay.
size
Yeah.
supermarket.
Did you work there?
I did.
Yeah,
I worked
bag-
there. No, I did
like stocking shelves.
video game stuff. I was ordering video games. When I was kid, I was 14. 14 until I was 18. And then I did a business school. So when I did the business school, you had to do 8 months in supermarket, 4 months in school. And I worked away from my dad, actually, in a different supermarket, one of his friends. And I was in charge of the whole department. I went up on the ladder really quick, so I took care of all the fresh food. So, you know, all the cheese. So I know everything about cheeses.
That's a big deal in France.
And you're French, yeah.
Big, big time.
Right, yeah, they're like, don't mess this up, man.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of cheese, man. Trust me. All the yogurts, eggs, and you know, the how you call it, the toast breads. All the toast bread area with you know, milk breads.
Bread.
Yeah, well, it's different breads, like, you know, the cat car. It's kind of like the little how you call it, like patisserie,
Okay.
but
Sure.
it's not fresh.
Right. Pastry.
Yeah, pastries,
Yeah.
but not fresh. I mean, they're fresh, but they're like,
All the prepacked, basically.
Yeah,
Like,
prepackaged.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
sure, sure.
sorry for
Just
my
so it would
English.
be-
Baked goods and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was taking care of that too. So that was like eight different things, 8 different area in the supermarket.
Do they have Cinnabons there?
Cinnamon?
Cinnabon.
No.
They have Cinnabon there?
They have buns, but
But not Cinnabons.
No.
It's not the same.
no. We have babao rum.
not.
Do you know babao rum?
I have no idea what you
Oh,
just
this
said.
is good.
Fair enough.
No, you don't?
No idea.
Waffles?
Waffles?
We have waffles.
we have
yeah.
waffles.
Yeah, we actually have a house
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
sells
the Waffle
waffles.
House.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
I go there in the morning.
Do you?
So yeah, we're
No
gonna go
way.
back to that then. Yeah, go back to the why I
It's
like
America.
America because of Waffle House. And so I think I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for racing. I think
Sure.
because, you know, my life opened up because of racing.
Sure.
It became worldwide
Yeah.
all of a sudden. But coming here was like, you know, we call America the land of opportunity, and that's so true for me. And you know, it made my whole life. So been here 10 years. I love it because people are so friendly. Number one, you know, you go into a restaurant and the waitress is super friendly to you. It's comfortable.
Right.
You can go to the post office. Post office is always open. That's not the case in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that not normal? Yeah.
Yeah, life is just very practical. In general, you don't feel as stressed, I would say. And it's a newer country, so everything is well organized.
Sure.
and it's just the people. You know, I feel like the people. There's always assholes everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Sure.
But I feel like the people are really, really, really nice here, and it's like you can really create a nice life over here.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. I enjoy that you can go to Waffle House in the morning.
Right.
And
So you haven't been to South Jersey?
have we been there? No,
No.
I don't think we have.
Chain restaurants? They have as many chain restaurants in Europe? Like, do you kind of like that there's an Outback Steakhouse in every city you go to?
Oh,
Does
yeah.
Willpower eat at the Outback Steakhouse?
He must.
I think he did
Blue and
a
Onion.
commercial too.
Did he
You hear the guy talking the Outback, you know? Come to a steakhouse place. Yeah, I think he did. I think he does every time, huh? I've seen him Outback.
That would make me happy.
Who's the biggest pain in the ass in IndyCar?
Well, it depends. That one's for Will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't say why. He knows.
We jokingly asked Andy Lally, we said, "Who, if you could punch anybody in the face, who would it be?" And he just went right into it. He's like, "Oh, I hate this guy, this guy, this guy." We're like,
No way.
"Oh, excellent.
okay,
We're recording,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
That-
yeah,
that's-
He's
We
good with
got it. No, he doesn't care.
No trouble.
Yeah,
His boss is very different.
Yeah, his boss isn't Roger
Yeah.
Penske, so he's not worried about it.
Roger likes a little bit of competition, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you kind of put it out there, it's okay.
I think so.
Well, you guys are so clean. You
Did
know,
you see that? I had
everybody-
a shave this
like,
morning
I was
again.
like Google image searching you the other day for like research, and there was like a Aussie vineyard picture from Atlantic. So you have like hair down to your
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Derek Walker had me cut those.
I bet
Yeah.
he did.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked at Sean and was like, I don't know if I could find it now. It was pretty
Yeah,
far down.
I
but
had
it
them
was,
hidden.
It was like the
Yeah.
Dario. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, it was Dario
yeah,
like
it was
it.
like the Dario.
I had to. I called Google and I had them deleted.
You're like, somebody recently looked at that. I forgot about it.
Oh wow! Look at this picture.
That's it. That's
Can you
the
put
one.
this?
Look at that
on
guy.
the- you can't put this radio.
We could
show.
make that like the. Yeah, we could actually make
this
that when
has
you
to go somewhere.
when you click the download. That'll be what you see.
It was my first picture. I was so proud. It was my first picture in America. Hey, look at my hair there. It's beautiful. My grandma loves my hair.
Nice.
She doesn't want me to cut my hair.
Haley, is that working for you? That photo?
Like go a little old
Is that
school.
it's not working for you? No.
No.
Never going back?
The thing is no.
All right.
She cuts my hair. She's a pro.
How much time does Helio spend on the weekends messing with his hair? I mean, like
Jeez, man,
he's
crazy.
legit.
it's
He takes his
legit.
helmet off and it
It's
looks like
still
he
like
just
that, yeah.
got up.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like a Lego guy. It's crazy. It's like you see him. It grows really quick. Okay, as soon as it grows, you see him the next week. Bam,
Right.
back to normal.
Yeah.
You know, we're fortunate enough teammates to see the growth and that it's changing.
You see it up close and you're like, I'm
Cause-
telling everyone.
Because most people don't know it changes. Most people think like
Perfect all the
That's
time.
how it is,
most
Yeah.
people think he just puts it on in the morning.
If you ever
take
like,
it out
if
in
you
the
saw
evening.
him with it messed up and you like took a picture of him, would he be like, dude, no, like,
Probably, yeah.
We're
It's
gonna-
very, very sensitive
Yeah.
about his hair. If you wanna, yeah, Montoya started on it. You know, this year he just he discovered that was his weakness point, so he
So you
just
went for it.
pressed the button all year long.
so there's like an inner Penske rival, you know, like who can mess with who. His
Well,
push button is
His
his
push
hair.
button is his hair.
Yeah.
Montoya's is
I was gonna say probably,
His,
yeah,
uh,
because he's
his
always been a little
breasts.
bit. He's
Yeah.
a little bigger.
that's proper, right? I can
Moobs.
say that. It's proper.
Boobs.
Breast.
Moobs.
Moobs, man, boobs,
Moobs.
moobs.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell me about the people at the table with
Oh,
us.
geez, I don't think you want to know everything. Actually,
I want to know the
Yes.
stuff you don't want to tell
Yeah,
me.
you're our first entourage
I
driver.
get fired tomorrow if I
Yeah,
say
no one
it.
else has had an entourage, by the way. So Penske's the big deal, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Was he like, you need everywhere you go, you take 6 people,
Yeah.
2
Yes.
cars? Yeah.
So who here is packing? Has a gun? Okay. If you have an entourage, 2 of them have to have guns.
Yeah, so
Haley's
Haley's
my
definitely security.
bodyguard,
I
yeah.
could see that. Yeah.
She's my
Yeah,
bodyguard.
she's
Yeah,
all business too.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
like-
man.
Yeah.
Don't-
What are you eating? You're eating a flatbread. That's what
Yes.
you're getting. Yeah.
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 And they all need Beats headphones
Yeah, why aren't they wearing headphones?
or Bose, which whoever sponsoring
Yeah,
Penske.
why? Why? Why don't they have it full?
They need headphones.
They're on their phones right now. The
at
Verizon
that.
phone.
Well, we're being
Yeah.
we're being
Oh, you
rude.
see that?
Yeah, nice little slide in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Verizon.
This is-
So Fred is my best friend. I met him. I should say actually, I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of best friends.
Yeah.
Like actually, you know, when you say I have friends,
yeah.
we all have friends. But I don't know how it's possible. You know, I have like probably 10,
I know what you mean.
which is incredible. Best friends.
Yep.
I would call it at night if I was, in trouble. They would come pick me up.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. So
Is that a common thing?
between those 10,
Just
yeah.
get locked up all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That happens. Only when I don't wear my shirt. So Fred, I met him. So I love skiing, and I go. I've been going to the same place in Saint-Sorlin-d'Arve in the Alps, in Savoie. It's very important to say that in Savoie, and
I don't know what that means.
well, it's very important.
Okay,
It's like
it's
you got
important.
your states thing. We've got our
Oh,
states
right,
thing
yeah,
too. So
yeah,
if I
fair
don't
enough.
say that, I get shoot. I
Right.
get shot.
Yeah.
I probably won't go back there again. So I've been going there since I'm 15. First year I had to go by train, which was very difficult because my dad wouldn't let me go with my friends in their car. But anyway, I met him when I was 15, and he was the owner of the pub.
Perfect.
And in France,
That's smart.
yes, in France it's okay to go to a pub at 15 and get wasted.
I agree. Yeah, I'm moving.
That's right. So I used to go to his bar, and I used to tell him, he loves to say that, I used to tell him, I drive go-kart, I drive karting. And he loves to say that to everybody. Like when I used to come, I used to say that. So we became best friends, and I go every year. And he had kids now, so
Right.
Axel and Johan. So Johan talks a lot. And soon I'm gonna be again godfather for the second time.
Oh, excellent.
Coco is pregnant
With the whole
with
family.
Fred,
Oh,
so that's
congrats.
cool.
Fred,
yeah.
Fred, how different is he now from when he was 15? Like, is he a total asshole now?
I'm gonna
With
have to
big
translate
attitude?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said that was that was not very friendly. If I can translate what you say, yes. Huh? Yes.
So how many
Good
times?
job.
How many times this guy passed out drunk in the bar?
Oh, geez, you don't want to know that actually.
Today?
What?
Yeah.
Last night? No. In the bar?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm the only one that never had a bad experience in that bar.
In the bar.
In that bar, and
Yeah.
nobody knows why.
Yeah.
Because I should.
Right.
Should have.
So,
That bar is like, if you guys want to go to France, that's the place to go.
okay, in Savoie.
Yeah, Savoie.
Make sure you say that.
I
don't wanna
And
get
now
shot,
I just
yeah.
want to say, so he owns 2 restaurants there as well now. So he's grown as well, right?
Nice.
He's had this pub,
Everybody's
and
growing up. Yeah.
he has a pizzeria, and now he owns a more high-end kind of restaurant where
Very
they
good.
do. It's amazing. You show up and you want to have raclette, and they do raclette with all sorts of different cheese.
We don't know what
raclette?
So
Sorry.
raclette, sorry.
I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I
No,
get so
no,
excited when I think
we're
about
the
it.
ones that should be at my parents. Yeah.
So it's melted cheese. So basically, you put cheese in a little plate,
All
a
right.
single plate for you, that you put into a little oven.
Okay.
It's like a miniature oven that's on the table, and you put it in, and your cheese melts, and you pour the cheese over the potatoes, pickles,
Nice.
ham,
So nachos.
French nachos.
French.
But there's no bun around, or there's no
Yeah.
bread with it. I mean, there's bread. Oh yeah, there's bread. La baguette. C'est bon la baguette.
You'd see his eyes light up when he said that. He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's bread."
I can't wait for December.
You going back for the holidays?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just went back for a week. We had a week, so we went back just to see all my friends. That was the main goal.
Yeah.
And then we're going back in December to just spend some time there.
Yeah.
I have a little house, so we just like to go there for vacation.
Yeah. Very good.
So what's the what are the staple places when you got friends coming from Europe to take them out here?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, so well, I'm discovering this as well. So, I took him to the racetrack at Kershaw.
Which is not a staple.
Yeah.
It is to me.
Camden, South Carolina is not where you take your
I got
friends.
scared when
It's
they
a-
said there were snakes everywhere. They said, "Don't go off. There are snakes." I'm like, "Okay."
And basically Kershaw's like a little club track where a lot of teams do their testing, and
Yeah.
it's not really a big
It's middle
fan
of
track.
nowhere,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
sort of South
I love
Carolina.
it. It's a nice track
Yeah.
actually. So I took my cars there with Frederick, and he loves driving. So we've done the exotic experience in Vegas and all
Okay,
that.
cool.
So we did that. The staple. So the go-kart track too.
Yeah.
I like to take my friends to the go-kart track here in Mooresville. They do a good job. It's a nice
That's
track.
Yeah, it's-
Mooresville Motorplex?
Yeah.
GoPro, yeah,
Yeah.
GoPro Motorplex.
Yeah.
s-
GoPro
Motorplex.
Motorplex.
GoPro
that's
Motorplex,
right.
excuse me.
Yeah.
And what else do we do? Yeah, oh yeah, Fork. That Fork restaurant. I don't know why you probably
I'll
don't
be
know.
Wait,
in there.
what did you
Yeah.
just please repeat
Fork.
that? Fork?
Like La
Fork.
fourchette.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just didn't quite sound like
Fork.
that. Your friends go
Posse.
to
It's
fork.
a posse.
Fork.
Yeah, no.
Fork.
With an R.
Yep.
We love that place. It's delicious, nice food. You know, it's like you share plates with everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We love to take them there. Yeah, Rusty
Ah,
Rudder.
the Rusty
I'm
Rudder.
surprised you like that place.
Yeah, I like
I've been
that
there
place.
before, but I've always been there completely intoxicated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never been
I
there.
haven't been intoxicated yet. There.
Liar. Yeah.
No, you have.
Ski drivers.
Haley has, big time.
He's
I don't
like-
want to tell you the story. She
like,
came home and all the alarms went on, and I was sleeping. Yeah.
You should have been out.
No, I was preparing for the season, my friend.
This crap.
was my-
yeah.
It was my.
So this is the Penske
preparation.
stuff, right? So
No,
this
no,
is-
no. It was serious.
if this-
Actually, it was serious. I said, no, I'm not going out tonight.
If this was a year ago, Schmidt, you would have been the one breaking the window to get in, right?
It's possible.
Yeah, very
But you guys don't do the Walmart experience. This is what blows my mind.
So
they have to see it.
I did it myself,
Yeah.
and I asked for something.
Yeah.
And they had to call 3 different people.
Yes, this is why you have to go.
Nobody could understand each other. They could understand me. I couldn't understand
They probably
them.
didn't speak English either.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
there's a different dialect when you go
Yeah,
up.
it's a Walmart accent.
So
yeah.
exit 28.
The look on his face right now is priceless. It's terrified.
Yeah, exit 28. It's still English, kind of, and then you go up 31, still English, boarding school, and then exit 36 over. That's like
Downhill.
that's the end. That's where like language change.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a new dialect.
That's the real South.
I don't know. So I like now. I don't know. I don't understand.
You just
I'm
point
all
at
south.
things.
Yeah.
You like point at
Yeah.
pictures. Yeah.
What do we? Where we go? Sorry. Didn't want to make fun of
Will
you
you
guys.
be here during Thanksgiving?
We're going to San Diego. That's.
Are you going to San Diego?
Yeah.
They have
you're-
Walmarts in
yeah,
San
you're not
Diego.
too far from
San
me.
Diego
Yeah.
is where Haley's from, so we
Okay.
split basically, which is really cool. It works
Yeah.
really well for us because Haley's American from San Diego. I'm French from France.
Okay.
Yeah, figure that out.
Let me
So-
write that down real
Yeah,
quick.
write it down,
Yeah.
please. As if you didn't know already. And so we spent Thanksgiving with our family.
Okay.
We do Christmas as well.
Right.
There for a family, and then for Christmas we go to my family.
Haley, where are you from? San Diego proper? Okay. So not so much San Diego, but like if you go out to like Corona del Mar or like Mission Viejo or Black Friday, you going to do it? You going to take them to Black Friday? No, come on,
Oh.
Escondido.
I wanna
Escondido
buy
Walmart.
stuff like like
Come
an
on.
Xbox. So
All right.
I need an Xbox.
You need like a 70-inch TV for like $400.
Yeah.
You need,
Yeah.
you need to stand in the
You
line.
may need
You gotta
to
see
pack.
it. You gotta
Exactly.
see it.
Hey, are you guys gonna go see Star Wars?
Do you know me?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of question is that?
Are you a geek
yeah,
of Star Wars too?
Yeah, I've already
too. I
got
got the
tickets.
costume and
I've already got
everything.
tickets ordered. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Jesus.
A friend of mine is renting out a theater in St. Louis for like all his friends to come watch. Yeah,
Nice.
so it was like, do I do that? Mike Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do I
figured it
do that or do I go to the tickets I already have?
Nah.
Is it the same night?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah, it's
it's a
opening
shame.
night.
Are you going to?
Both.
Sounds like you're a Star Wars nerd too.
I want to go. Yeah, Ben, my engineer, Bretzman, is a big Star Wars fan too.
Yeah.
So Ailey doesn't like to go to the theater.
Why is
So
that?
She's a bit scared of,
Getting shot.
yeah.
Fair point.
Fair point. So
I love that's a
I
thing.
take my lightsaber, so I don't risk anything.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah.
Use the Force.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
use the Force. Depends which side you use, right? So, but yeah, I'd like to go. I really like to go. The thing is actually, I just realized, we're talking, we're in France. So, we're going to be in France when it comes out.
Isn't
Hey,
it
Fred.
I think it's a worldwide distro.
Ça sort le 16 décembre ou pas, Star Wars? Oui? Ah, maybe I can see it in France.
I know
Huh?
how to say Star Wars in French.
Mhm.
Star Wars.
Star
We're
Wars.
talking about parce qu'on parle de Star Wars. See what just happened?
This is
I
so
responded in English first. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Wow.
I'm so proud of
funny.
that.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the
I'm
country.
thinking English.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you a tattoo, like a flag, eagles. Yeah, America.
America.
So,
So-
you drive a Suburban now, or a Tahoe or
A
something?
Tahoe,
yeah, I
man.
saw. I
Yeah.
know you're on the Chevy deal, so
Chevy, man.
I'll allow it. But
Chevy.
I saw when you got that, I was like, of course he has the biggest thing they make.
Tyrone is his name.
Why is it that?
Because it's Tyrone. He's got black wheels and he's a beast, Hayden chose the name, so I don't really know why.
He's like, I didn't do it. Wasn't
No.
me.
No, it wasn't me.
Notice how he did that
But
after
usually
we
I
started
name-
laughing at him. Like, oh no, it wasn't me.
I mean,
I know. I saw you laughing there, making fun of me. So.
no, we were just assuming what Penske won't allow to stay in.
yeah, we're
So it was
making a
like, that's got to
checklist.
go.
Like, yeah,
That's got to go.
Tyrone's
That-
out.
Yeah,
I think you know they'd be nicer than you think.
we hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
they'd,
hope
they'd
so.
be. Like, they're pretty.
Well, what we should do is throw in some things so that they feel like they did their job. Like throw things that we know they're going to nix
Yeah,
out.
we need to give them something to do when they listen to this.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yes.
So we
like,
keep
well,
So-
maybe they
stuff.
won't listen
you
that
r-
far into the record. The
Oh, that'd be even
Oh,
better.
recording, yeah.
That'd be
Let's
better
make
for
that
us.
happen.
Maybe they forget,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
David? You forget that part, right?
He's sitting in an office right now. Like,
I
hey,
heard that.
Can you listen, right? Is it live?
no, this
No,
won't
no.
go out until November 18th.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
said that.
So a lot of drivers have like specific helmet designs for specific reasons. I don't know why yours is the way it is. I don't
No?
think I've ever read. Is there something specific about it?
Yes. So the red is simple, actually. I don't know if we have a picture here, but I think we do. My first helmet, I used to do quad ATV
Okay.
when I was 2.5, 3. And the helmet I had was red, and it had a blue stripe on the side. And for some reason, I always loved red. And as soon as I could design my helmet, I designed it red. And I had stripe on the side.
Yeah.
So, and then it evolved, and I kept the lines, the same design, but I went full red,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a heritage thing, like a
Yes.
throwback to your
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, that's cool, man.
pretty much.
When
so
you
I
did-
have all my helmets at home in France. Actually, I have all my red helmets from the moment I was 3, 2.5. It's there, and then
Right.
all the.
When you did the Senna helmet, was that one of the most emotional things that's
Oh,
ever
dude.
happened? Because I even got emotional watching that. I was like, how cool is this?
Yeah, it
you know,
was-
getting to see that helmet go around the brickyard and everything was like,
How did that come together, by the way? Like, did you have to call them, or like, I mean, it's a really cool idea, but I don't even know how that starts.
Well, it was an interesting. It was a conversation with Haley. I was like, it's gonna be 20 years anniversary. I mean, it's not a good anniversary, right? I hate to say that.
but you celebrate the life.
But you celebrate the
you know,
life.
yeah.
That's a better way to put it. Of Ayrton Senna, and for me, he ruled my life. He's still ruling it. You know,
Sure.
I'm still. Sometimes I watch the movies and the tape, the books I have from him to
Mhm.
Yeah.
get motivation back
Yeah.
inside of me. So, he's ruled my life. So
Put that up there. Cheers.
I was like, it's gonna be 20 years. I really want to do something special to kind of say thank you.
Right.
And so I called Gilles de Ferran. Well, I talk to Gilles every week, so I called Gilles, and we're talking about it with Haley, and Haley said, just call Gilles, see what he says. And we started talking with Gilles, and I said, what do you think? He says, it's a really good idea, but don't do the full helmet. Don't do the full thing. You gotta incorporate some of your design,
Right.
because nobody can use the helmet
Yeah,
again.
that's his. Yeah.
And he said, that's totally Gilles. He says, what if something happens and you wear his helmet? It's bad for the family. And
Yeah.
so then he contacted Bruno Senna and Viviane. Yes, and so they both said that was a really good idea. Then I got in touch with them, and we got it going this way. So we did the design. They approved it. We actually got their official logo to put on the helmet. And the whole idea was to actually give back to the foundation that Ayrton and Vivian created for the kids in needs of literacy in Brazil. So the idea was to auction off the helmet after the race and give money back and help the foundation. So that's why they put their helmet on. We actually put the logo of the 20-year anniversary as well on the top of the helmet. It's a beautiful helmet, and it sold well. So. I think it sold for I don't know. I think it was $15,000.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Was that painful to give up? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
it's
gonna
such
miss
a
this,
good-looking
yeah.
It
helmet.
was
Yeah.
tough. It was
Yeah.
really tough.
yeah.
Yeah. It was really tough. But in the meantime, that's what it was all about. That was the first question Gilles asked me. He says, "But don't you want to keep the helmet afterwards?" I'm like, "No, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not
You
what
got
it's
to
all
wear
about."
it.
Yeah.
You got to wear it.
Is it? Do you get being a French guy
Oh yeah.
and a big Senna helmet? Yeah.
In what regard?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's
just
like,
You just
Yes.
do the math, Pagenaud.
I get every day from everything. So.
But I mean, the late '80s, big '90s. I mean, to be a French guy and have such a love for Senna, that had
Yep.
to be a thing.
Yes, but you know what the funny thing is there were a lot of people who in France who love Senna too, because he was such a charismatic guy, I
Right.
think. But yeah, I did get a lot of, especially from the media in France,
Yeah.
a lot of questions about it. Why are you not a pros fan? And but I said I respect Alain. You know, I've met him. He's a great guy. But
Right.
the guy that made me want to become a race car driver was Senna. So they
Yeah.
respect that.
Have
Yeah.
have you or your fellow European counterparts had Cheese Whiz?
A what?
Cheese Whiz. It's
Oh, yes,
spray
got
on
this little
cheese.
thing?
Yeah, you spray cheese.
It's like whipped cream, but cheese.
I don't think we've ever tried that.
I'm pretty. It's like on par with raclette, I would bet.
Is it?
It's probably the same. It sounds like it's the same thing.
Jeez.
We'll go to Walmart.
If it
Yeah,
was,
Walmart is a great place for it.
I feel like if it was, I would have already tried.
Can we maybe go with you to Walmart and film you asking for Cheese Whiz?
I'm impressed with your desire to go to Walmart. What's up
it's
with
a
that?
thing.
You have no idea. If we could have a day
Oh,
of just taking you
I would just-
places
yeah.
with a camera, this guy's like dreams would come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to take a Frenchman,
I'm a big-
French Penske driver.
I'm a
to buy
big fan
Cheese
of
Whiz.
uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
And the uncomfortability of the whole thing would be that's
That's
my
you.
style.
That's your
That's
stuff.
my
Yeah.
jam.
Okay.
So,
I like that. I respect that.
Yeah.
I do.
so no one has ever said respect in me in the same sentence. So you may want to take that back.
So he's just being friendly.
Yeah.
He's trying to be American. He's
professional.
Being friendly. Yeah. Derek Walker asked. We do a pass along question, which we'll give you in a minute.
Did you guys talk about me? with
Oh
Derek?
yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. He had some choice words.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
He his question for Brian Clausen
Brian Clausen.
was, "Do you have a 5-year plan?" And then he asked it to us, and we were
Derek.
kind of like, "I wasn't prepared for this."
Want to get through today?
If you asked me what was
Yeah.
Derek's question, I would have said that.
Yeah. So-
Exactly that.
Yeah, and I know he managed your career for quite a while, and that's the things he had funny words about you with. No, he he kind of said that that's something he always asks drivers or people in the sport, like, do you have a plan? And he said 5 years might be too long now because of all the moving pieces in motorsports. So 3-year plan. But do you have a 5-year plan? Is it be at Penske in 5 years? Because that should be it. If it's not, I'm going to tell you that's what it is. But is there a
Oh, God.
So
we
we're gonna-
asked that with the girl next to him.
anyways?
Yeah,
So the
that-
question was
In your professional career.
favorite
Yeah, we're
pizza
talking
place in America.
Professional
Career, right?
career.
Yeah.
Professional
Thank you.
career.
Save me, please. Yes.
New question. Favorite pizza topics.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have a plan. I've always had a plan, actually. That's how I built my career. I was always looking at a 5-year plan. You see there's a cycle in racing. It's actually super interesting if you look at it. Most teams, if you take away Penske, Ganassi, there's other teams in sports car like Audi, most teams, like you look at Highcroft, you look at, I remember Highcroft, you look at Schmidt actually, you look at if you really look at most teams, there's a 5-year cycle. Usually they start up, year 1, year 2, year 2 goes well, year 3 goes really well, year 4 starts declining, and year 5 is the last year. That's usually what happens in racing. They either lose a sponsor, or that's the end of the contract with the sponsor. They can't find another sponsor.
Person
And-
funding it gets bored.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then they start on and do something else. Actually, Muscle Milk was 5 years.
Yeah.
Things like that. I look at that. When you look at the landscape of racing, when I look at a team that I'm interested to drive for in sports car, I look at that. Try to look at that when they are at their peak and stuff like that. So, as a driver, I think you definitely need to do the same. But I also think you need to look further down the road. You may have a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year plan, but then you need to look at where am I going to be? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Sometimes it doesn't work that way. You have to deviate, take a detour,
Right.
like I did with sports car. But actually, that detour was a blessing because it taught me so much more stuff that I needed to know. My 5-year plan is, I would like to stay with Penske. I'd like to be with Penske because I feel that's where I have the best chance to win Indy 500.
Yeah.
That's my number one goal.
Is that the goal? Yeah.
Number one. That's where I have my best chance to win a championship, IndyCar championship. And I hope I can do it sooner than 5 years.
Yeah.
But if I would like to achieve these goals in the next 5 years.
So what's the after IndyCar plan? Sports car racing again, or
So my goal is to. I'm 31. I'd like to be in IndyCar for 10 years. Um, I would like to stay with Penske for 10 years. We don't know what's going to happen as well there. You never know. I mean, maybe they might go do something else, or I don't know. Maybe there'll be other opportunities for me too. But my goal would be right now would be to stay in IndyCar until I'm 40, 41, and then I'd like to go back to Le Mans and try to win Le Mans. That is definitely. I mean, I finished second, 13 seconds behind the leader. I could see the Audi crossing the finish, so
Yeah.
it's kind of sore still. So I want to go back there.
that stint at Le Mans, weren't you on double stinted tires and they were on
Yeah,
singles or something? So
well-
you had like an uphill battle on top of it all.
Yeah, we're doing quadruple stint.
Right.
So they had a puncture. Unbelievable. So we had a puncture in the morning. I was with Bourdais, right? It was only two of us because Pedro was sick. He couldn't drive anymore around midnight. So the whole time was Bourdais and me. And we were going really well. We're leading. Every pit stops it was changing,
Yeah.
right? But overall we were leading up until the morning at 8 in the morning when we had a puncture on the safety car. And the safety car row is a little different there. So we had to pit, change tires, went back out, and we had to wait for the next safety car to come, which was like a minute and a half loss. So we lost the lead by a minute and a half. Then at the end, so I got in the car on slicks, and it was sprinkling. And I knew that was my chance because our car was pretty good in these conditions and I had nothing to lose. So they told me on the radio, you have nothing to lose. So we don't care if you wreck because we got two cars behind that can finish second and third.
Right. To go get them.
So just go.
That's awesome. I've
So-
never been told that.
Oh man, it was awesome because I just went balls out,
yeah. Like,
That's
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah. And it was sprinkling, and I had my teammates at diverse place on the track. So I asked my engineer, it's a 3-minute and a half track. So I asked my engineer to tell me the lap time they were doing in each sectors ahead because they were ahead of me on the track.
Mhm.
So I would know if it was raining in that part of the track ahead of time.
Right.
So I would know if I had to be cautious or not. So they would tell me the lap time of the next sector, so I know if I could push it, and I would push like hell. And then the Audi made a mistake, and I caught back, and I got back within, I believe, 30 seconds, and they had a puncture. So they were gonna keep the same tires for 5 stints on the car, and they did, which was incredible. We
Yeah.
never did 5 stints without tires, and we had them on for 4 stints, but they kept their tires for 5 stints. They gambled. They had a puncture,
Right.
slowly going down. The tires was deflating, and they finished the race like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
hurt.
tough. That's tough.
Yeah. So is there anything else like terrible about your past I can bring up to discuss at lunch?
Oh, there are a lot of things people don't know about me. The first time 2008 was a pivotal moment in my career. So 2007 I was doing Champ Car with Derek Walker, and the team stopped because Champ Car stopped, whatever. And then I got back from France. I've got a Ford Taurus as a car. That's my car. I love that thing actually. I loved it. It was great in the snow. And I got back from France and it snowed like crazy in India. I think it was one of the year. It was 2008. I think that was the year that it snowed the most in the last decade. I got to my car and it's freezing. I don't have gloves. I don't have anything, and the windshield is like completely frozen. There's that much snow on top of the car, and my cell phone rings, and my fingers are frozen. I look at the phone. I'm like, who could this be? I mean, it's like 8 in the evening. It's dark, snowing,
Yeah.
it's freezing, and I'm like, I gotta pick up the phone. Because I mean nobody's calling. I don't have a ride right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. We never know. So pick up the phone. I'm in the Taurus, freezing. It's Gilles de Ferran. Hello Simon, it's Gilles de Ferran. I'm like, what?
Why?
What?
Yeah.
Gilles de Ferran, the guy from Honda F1 team, Penske driver. Yeah. Oh, hi. And he's like, are you around? Yes. Can you meet this week? Yes. Okay, I'm in Indy. I'd like to meet with you tomorrow. Like, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Boom, hanged up. I was freezing. That was a
Run
funny
back
story.
into the airport.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, no, that was outside in the parking lot.
Oh, you were getting ready to leave.
I was trying to take the snow off
Oh, 'cause
the
it was all
windshield
buried
with
in
no
snow.
gloves and
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And now did the sports car stuff with Honda, did that lead into the support for, was it Ryan Bold or who was the first?
Yeah, so the first team that got me to drive IndyCar was Dry Rainbow.
Yeah.
I replaced Anna Beatrice.
Okay.
She had a broken wrist, and I replaced her at
That's
Dry
right.
Rainbow, the
Yeah,
first race in
that-
Barber.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's actually, I have to give him credit for that. It's Will Power that helped. That's when we were really good friends. He helped. He told Dry Rainbow to get me in the car,
Mhm.
and he's been telling those guys, just get Simon.
Yeah.
If you want a good driver, he's the guy to take. And I was in France, and Will calls me and says, Dry Rainbow is going to call you. I've been pushing, because Liz, his wife, was working at Dry Rainbow
Yeah.
as a PR person, and they called me, and I flew I flew that night to go get to Barber, basically.
Yeah.
How was that time, kind of walking through the paddock? Because I mean, there was a pretty good amount of time where you're sitting there, helmet in hand, just looking to be the sub and waiting for that chance. And obviously, it worked out. But our buddy Spencer Pompelli told us the story of how he used to do that at Daytona to get a ride. How humbling is that experience for you?
I wouldn't say I didn't feel like it was a humbling. I felt like it was. It's your racing career. It's your life basically, because racing is your life, right, Ryan? That's what we do, and it's your racing life that's on the line, and it's very stressful moments because the seat is never perfect. You can never make a perfect seat in a car that you've never driven. You don't know the engineer you're gonna get. It's the worst conditions ever, basically, because you're just gonna have to extract the best out of what you have, and it might not be like you want it.
Right.
But you have to do your best.
You have to go. Yeah.
And you might not be really ready physically or mentally. I mean, it's just, most of the times when I did those races, I got called 2 days before the race. I had to travel from France, jet lagged. It was like, last minute kind of call. And, at this level, it takes so much preparation to beat a Castro Neves and just show up like that with, a steering wheel with the grip that doesn't suit your hands. And, with cars that don't have power steering, was very difficult. I remember Barber, my first race, man. I was coming out of the seat in the last corner that's so long. I was coming out of the seat and I was holding on with my elbow to the tub like that, and I was pushing my head against the headrest because my neck couldn't do it, trying to hold my body, and I was so much pain. I had so much pain, but I was so dedicated and motivated to do well. Never gave up. And I remember being so tired the day after the race, like sore and everything. But those are good memories too.
Right.
I wouldn't say humbling, because that's actually when you're doing something special. That's when you really extract something special out of you and you put it on the table, and that's what you got. So. It's a good and a bad situation, because most people judge you, but they can't judge you because everybody knows it's a tough situation.
Well, it's sort of like a win-win, because worst that happens is you do as everybody was expecting.
Yes.
And best case is you do well. It's like,
Yes.
oh, he just got it. And
Which
did
is
that.
what I
Yeah.
did.
Right.
It's same at Mid-Ohio. I was disappointed. I drove for Dry Rainbow again
Justin Wilson, right?
to replace Justin because he broke his back. And I wasn't happy with my performance. The car was a winning car that weekend.
Right.
It was a car to win. It was beautiful. And, Mid-Ohio is tough because everybody's so good there. It's a test track that we go to. So everybody's very much at the top level.
Yeah.
And I qualified. I missed the transfer for Q2 and started 17th. I was running 8th, and I went off. Stupid. Finished 11th, I think. I felt like I should have been in top 5.
Right.
So. But everybody was happy with me. That's the good thing. That's when
That's
you
the
replace.
weirdest thing that happens
Yeah.
as a driver, when you don't feel like you did a good job
Yeah.
and everyone's happy. You're like, oh.
That's the thing in America.
Alright.
Actually, you asked me about America. Is everybody says good job.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it's always good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's uplifting, right? But when you don't do a good job, you're like, no, it's not a good job.
Yeah.
Let me do better.
Yeah.
Do you watch much NASCAR? Like, have you ever
Yeah.
heard somebody go like, "Oh, I had a great top 20 car"? And you're like, "What?"
I know.
Yeah.
I finished third yesterday. It was great. Yeah, no, it's like, I guess one of the things I learned throughout the years, and you probably feel the same way, is you always have to look at the outside factors and take that out of the equation and
Yeah.
say, yeah, I drove well today. I may have finished 6th, 7th, but actually that was one of my best drive.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely agree.
Did you know that Spencer Pumpelly killed somebody?
Oh, sorry.
So, we know Senna's one of your all-time
Yeah.
heroes. Are there any other heroes of yours, maybe not racing related or racing related? You know, Penske's a hero of mine just because
Yeah.
the guy's been so awesome for so long. You're my hero, obviously. Yeah.
You're my hero, Ryan.
Anybody you look up to in other forms of motorsports now?
Other form of motorsports. Well, my dad. I would say my dad because, you know, you said form of motorsport, but no, I just want to say my dad.
Yeah.
Definitely, because he's been a model in terms of being organized, being structured in my life, in my head.
Yeah.
He's just showed me. You know, my mom is an artist. She was a dancer.
Yeah.
So I've seen the artistic and sports side. She taught me all that, and he taught me the pragmatic side and the business side. And he always has a good advice. Derek Walker has been huge in my career. Gilles LeFerrin, huge. I would say, you know, you always find a few people in your career that change everything for you. Those two have been very important. I would say those are mentors.
Yeah.
You know, other heroes outside racing. Unfortunately, I have not, and that's actually you know, you want to know about me, but that's something I'm disappointed about in my life is I have not worked hard at trying to understand or learn about other things. I wish I did that more.
In regards to
Life, you
Okay,
know,
yeah.
like I'm interested in business, economy, like stock market's really interesting to me. I wish I could master it, but I would never be able to master it because I didn't do the studies and
sure,
and it takes too much time.
Sure.
I regret that
yeah.
somehow.
But at the same time, you wouldn't be a Penske driver if you didn't
No.
do everything you did to get
Absolutely.
where you are. And
Absolutely.
I have people that ask me that sometimes. They say, because I left school in high school to go racing, and I did homeschooling, you know. And so I see my old high school friends, and they still ask, like, oh, do you regret not finishing school and, like, going to college with all of us and everything? And I'm like, no, you know, because I
Yeah.
still know you. You're still my friend, but I wouldn't have gotten where I am now
Yeah.
if I had gone the route everybody else wanted to go.
Yeah.
And you have to think the same way.
Yeah,
because
I
you-
do. I'm like, you know, I don't have a regret when it comes to my racing life and all that. But on my personal life, I feel, you know, I'd like to be more educated.
Mhm.
I'd like to have more conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to have conversation talking about, you know, economy, talking about whatever.
Is that tough on sort of the sponsor side? Because you know, a big part of your job is
Yeah.
going to those dinners. Now you have to sort of
Yeah.
hold the conversation with you know,
Absolutely.
so and so guy, and you pretty much only know racing, I assume. at
That's
this
a
point.
great question. Absolutely, and that's probably why I feel regret now. Is, you know, we have, especially with Penske. I mean,
Yeah.
the business to business they do, the amount of partners they have,
Right.
companies involved is incredible. I mean, we talk to. It goes from, you know, obviously logistic people, transport, computer with HP, for example, technology like you couldn't believe.
Yeah.
Even Verizon. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about, but you know, I'm learning, and I wish I knew more.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it.
What's your go-to expression when somebody comes to meet you and you're not sure if you've met them or not?
Like I go with good to see you.
Yeah, I say the same thing actually.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, because if you say I do the same. Because if you say good to meet you, then the person knows you don't remember. So I say good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah.
We looked up your hometown. Was it a big place you grew up?
Oh no.
Because
No, it's very small.
did you know Brian Joubert?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
friend of mine. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's our second podcast we've managed to get figure skating into. I'm
Sean's
very
a-
Yeah, we
Sean's a
actually
big fan.
So-
we had at some point my trainer was his trainer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Because you guys are similar age, I think.
Yeah, similar age. Yeah, we were supported by so in France we have what we call the state basically support the
Right.
athletes.
And just put this in perspective, Brian Gilbert is a very accomplished figure skater, went to the World Championships and Olympics several times. And
Yeah.
I don't think he ever won the World Championship, but he
He
came
did,
pretty
yeah,
close.
I think he
he
did.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he won
okay,
the
I don't know.
Olympics though.
No,
I
he
think
never won the
finished second
Olympics.
in the
Yeah,
Olympics,
he won second in 10. Yeah.
You want to keep going down
No,
that road,
no,
or are you
no,
good?
no, we're
Okay.
good. So
Um,
that was for me.
I guess you don't like figure skating, right?
actually, no. My cousin medaled in the Olympics. He
Oh,
got
he
the
did?
silver in '94,
92.
Wow.
92. And
Albertville.
so,
That
yeah.
was in France.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
94.
he doesn't know that. And Sean used to figure skate.
You wouldn't know it now.
And we actually had lunch with Bob Varsha,
Oh yeah.
the commentator.
Yeah.
And Sean and Bob go into this thing about how Bob covers all sorts of sports, and Sean actually called him an asshole. But the way he did it, though, was very good. He said, yeah, I'm listening to you call the F1 race. And the next day, I got the same asshole calling the figure skating. I couldn't figure out what was going on, which I just thought was amazing.
That was well placed.
I was way too confident.
Smooth talking.
So they kept referring to me as like, oh, I know you don't know anything about figure skating. Oh, I'm sure you don't know anything about this. And I'm sitting there all the time like, my cousin went to the Olympics. Like, get out of here.
Shut up.
So I just let him keep going for a while. So a recurring theme we've been doing on the show is a pass along question.
Okay.
And so
Yeah, we've been trying to talk about
trying
that
to get
for
there,
like
but
half
you
an
won't
hour.
shut up.
I know. Sorry.
No, so we had lunch yesterday at Tegri
Tegri, yeah.
in Indy, which
Your
you're familiar
place, yeah.
with
My
Sarah.
favorite place.
Yep, with Sarah Fisher. And Sarah's question for you, that's a two-parter. The first one you're not going to like. Why did you block Joseph at Sonoma?
Oh, she really believes that.
Well, it was in jest. She was laughing as she
Oh,
said
okay.
it. But
Wow.
man, let's get into it.
I know. Like, when we watched the race, and people were saying that, I mean, actually the commentators were saying that, I was like, Jesus Christ, really? Like, would I do that?
Right.
Like, people don't know me? No, I would not do that. That's not me right there. I would not do that because I have no... Why would I do that? That's going to cost me next in the future.
Right.
The reason is, what happened is before the race...
Now this is referring to Sonoma. You came
Yeah.
in for your first pit stop. Newgarden's trying to get out. You're trying to get in, but you're kind of blocked, so you're stopped just blocking him from going out.
So before the race, we have a big meeting, right? The Penske's in the title contention with Will Power
Yeah.
and Montoya. So the scenario was, Will is leading. If Will is leading, he can win the championship. Okay. If Montoya is fifth, he wins the championship. Okay. I'm starting fourth. Great. And first thing goes well. I ended up behind Montoya, so I'm like, okay, I'm out of trouble. I don't want to get in trouble with those guys. It's fine. But throughout the race, I might be able to get back because I could save a lot of fuel. The car was great. And anyways, so we go into the pits, and I realize Power comes into the pit same lap as me, or I come in the same lap as him, and I'm like, I counted the seconds between him and I with the point on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna come out of the pit right when I get there. And I remembered Roger saying, if you come into the pits the same lap as Will, be careful. When you guys don't get together in pit lane. Okay, so I thought about that. Like, I can't get with him. I'm gonna let him go. But the thing, I never saw Joseph. It was a black car.
Right.
I never saw him, and I did not realize that I was blocking him. And it's only when he hit me that I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And then I was trying to grab the clutch because we have hand clutch.
Oh, okay.
But when he hit me, the steering wheel jammed out of my hands.
Mhm.
I was trying not to stall, so I was trying to get my clutch, and the car went forward because the clutch, I let the clutch go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joseph went through my pit box and got my mechanics all pissed off
Fired
because
up.
of safety.
Yeah.
But I heard these kind of comments after the race. I was like, I can't believe, what can I do?
Right.
So if I go into the pits, I hit Will. Obviously, this is bad for my team. I work for Penske. I'm a driver for Penske. Imagine if I lose the championship by hitting Will
Yeah.
in pit lane.
First year
That
with the
can't
team.
happen,
Yeah.
right? I have nothing to gain,
Yeah.
nothing to lose that race. And then, poor Joseph. I mean, I'm sorry I blocked him, obviously, but that had nothing to do with.
Yeah. You
with
did,
I was just trying not to hamper with Will's race.
Right.
And actually, I didn't realize he was there. I didn't realize The black car I never saw. That's the problem. I'm pretty sure if it was red or something, I would have seen it. Never saw him.
Well, that was mostly a joking question, but
Well, that's my answer.
But I appreciate your answer. This guy. No. The next question, which she went immediately into, was how many times have you been called John Gerard?
Way too many times. Jeez.
The waitress just called you that, and I said, don't let him hear you.
Oh,
No,
we
yeah.
actually told her
kinda
to
put
say
her up
that.
to
Yeah.
Not her fault.
We got set up. We got set up.
Well, when we got here, they
It's
thought
time
we
to
were
do
here,
a new movie, I think.
right?
And
Yeah,
I
we-
should be the main actor.
Do you watch his films?
Oh, I watch it a lot of
Yeah.
times. I like it. I like it. It's a fun movie.
You've never met Sasha.
I love him. He's a great.
But
he's
you've never
awesome.
met him, right?
No,
Sasha
only on
Baron
my
Cohen.
iPad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to make it happen.
So yeah, when we got here, they misunderstood that they thought we were here for a NASCAR interview.
Oh.
And
So
so we
it's
said,
a
no, we're
period
here for
guy.
IndyCar. And she's like, oh, okay. No, I don't really follow NASCAR at all. I'm like, have you seen Talladega Nights? And she's like, well, that I have seen.
There
I was
you
like,
go. That's the guy. That's the
okay,
actor.
well, he's going to be here. Good enough. Yeah. So our next guest that we're going to be sitting down with is
But does the Jean Girard thing get old, I assume?
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when people, because the thing is I'm okay with people calling me Jean Girard, but people ask me to do the accents. I
Right.
don't need to do the accent.
Yeah, it's
I
already
have
there.
It.
This is
Yeah,
it.
it's already
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's
That's
it.
where the joke comes from.
You know, that's it.
Sure.
can you do the Ricky Bobby accent?
See, there you go.
Yeah, see, that's a go different direction, right?
Yeah, it is.
Why don't you just bite it and make them all look like and wear the Perrier suit to a race? Just be like,
I would
happy?
I'd
Let's
love
get it
to
all
do
out.
I
Let's
think,
get it
I
all out.
think Penske, with Penske, we could do it.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. We just need to get into it. But actually, we talked about it the other day. Actually, it was a good idea, and they're buying into
Yeah,
it.
just end it. Be like, okay,
Yeah,
I
let's
did
do
it.
it.
Got it.
I did it.
I think it's a good idea. We should do it.
So,
Could get worse too.
yeah, maybe. We might get Perrier sponsorship.
Yep.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
That could work.
we're going to be sitting down with Bill Riley later this evening.
Okay.
Bill-
The designer.
The
Bill
car
Riley?
designer, yeah, he's also a very well accomplished strategist and just race engineer throughout his career. Anything you could think to ask Bill Riley
Huh.
if you had the chance?
The first question that comes to my mind is, if there was, what else would you do if you could go backwards? What would you do different?
Do you guys want your food in a box?
You like that question?
Yeah, it's good.
Is that good?
Hard to work and eat, huh?
What would you do different?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it worked out pretty well.
You're like, nothing.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I think actually I would have surrounded myself. I was really young, okay? I had a chance to go to Formula One with Renault.
Mhm.
I was under contract and everything. I was 17. But, my family was not in racing. And I didn't have a good understanding what it took at the time to become a professional race car driver. So, I see all the kids coming up right now. They're ready. They have mental trainer. They have a physical trainer. They don't go to school anymore. They do school at home, but but they're ready. They're professional drivers at like 15.
Mhm.
They're ready. I didn't have any of this preparation up until I decided to do it myself by research and trying to understand how I could become better when I came here in the US when I was 21, 22. So I probably lost 7 years in my career where I could have been better earlier and grew faster.
Mhm.
So, like physical preparation. Up until I was, let's say, 21, I didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Mental preparation started, I was 19, but just starting. And obviously I realize now that the power of the mind is like infinite.
Sure.
So I've lost a lot of time that way. So I would do that differently. I would surround me with people like that would help me prepare better, and I would not have thrown away my shot at Formula One.
Penske's an awesome second.
Yes.
And you'll actually
But
get to like
hang
win
on a minute,
races.
I want to be clear on that because the other day I got asked on that. That doesn't mean Formula One was my number one choice.
Right.
It was equal to me either
Yeah.
Penske, IndyCar, or Formula One.
Well, yeah, because Penske IndyCar, you're going to win races. You're going to
Yeah.
be in the hunt every year. Renault,
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to be dead
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at best you might be sixth.
And
Yeah,
still trying to
true.
collect your paycheck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or taken out by your teammate.
That too.
So talk to me about mental prepness. Like, what do you do? What's
Yeah.
your?
So when I started, it was because my mom realized I was struggling to get my to be fully concentrated on the task. I would have a good race and a bad race. Nobody would know why. I didn't know why. I was a bit lost I was lost in my mind when I was 18. And then one day she said, why don't you go see this doctor? I talked to him, and he's going to help you with meditation. That could be interesting. So we she took me to the doctor, and this doctor was our family doctor, and he started reading to me meditation lessons, and we started doing meditation together, and it changed my life, changed everything, my relationship with people, the way I was expressing myself in public, the fact that I could now structure my mind too, like I was saying earlier. So I started like that, and then in 2000, I believe it was 2010, started working here with Jacques Dallaire. I don't know if you know him.
I know.
From Performance Prime here in the US in Charlotte, and he's helped me with this program to do some games that helps me concentrate, focus longer, and optimize my brain basically.
Does Montoya meditate?
I don't know.
He looks like he just goes like, I've done it.
Be okay.
Yeah, okay, let's drive. Yeah. I don't see Will Power meditating either. I see him playing like Call of Duty.
Yeah?
Yeah, just
He's
like,
actually,
just
he works a lot more than people think.
Does he? He's just so like relaxed and kind of like,
Yeah, he works hard.
Yeah, I
he
believe
works
it.
hard.
I mean, I guess you have to.
Yeah.
But he's so good at just looking like he's like, oh, what?
What are you
Okay,
saying?
yeah, I'll drive. Sure.
But
Champ
he's
car, Indy car, whatever.
he's always thinking about the race car.
Yeah.
He used to be even more intense than he is now, but he used to be like, you couldn't have a normal conversation with him. It was always about the race car, about doing a better lap. How could I go better there and there? But very intense.
What's interesting is you can't talk about him without doing the eyes. Even just then, yeah, it's crazy.
You don't know if it's true or not.
You've gotten to drive some amazing race cars from the last season of Champ Car, the Peugeot P1 car, which is a dream car of so many people, current Indy car, Corvette GT, Le Mans racer.
Ford Focus.
Ford
Taurus.
Taurus.
Excuse me.
Ford Taurus.
SEL with a little rear wing on the back.
Excuse me.
Did you put the wing on, or did it come like that?
No, it came like that.
Yeah.
I had
Factory.
alloy wheels
Factory.
on. Yeah.
You had what?
Alloy wheels.
Alloy wheels.
Oh, alloy wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
copy.
Yeah.
No, fine. Awesome machinery you've gotten to race. The Acura ARX,
Yes.
the first one,
O2A, yeah.
the first prototype car to have the same size front and rear tires. A lot of people don't know that Audi stole that from Honda HPD.
And Peugeot as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of those teams developed technology based off of that. So you get to drive like this, some of the coolest stuff in the last decade. What? I guess it's a two-part question. I asked this of Catherine Legg and Oriel Servia and a few other IndyCar drivers. First question is, which one's the coolest thing? Like, if you could drive one car right now for a day at Kershaw, your favorite track, what would be the go-to? Like, I mean,
Wow.
I imagine, because I've read that the Peugeots or the P1 cars are now making crazy power, close to P1 or F1 power, and they've got sometimes more downforce, but they're obviously heavier, so it slows down a little bit. But like, what's the
So one car that I've driven and one car
that you have driven? Yeah.
I think I'll take the one time I had the most fun was driving the Acura ARX O2A at Road Atlanta and Laguna Seca.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, that was just, oh my God. I still remember the qualifying lap in my head. It was unbelievable.
Just tons of downforce.
Tons of downforce. Didn't have too much power, so it was all about downforce, carrying speed, braking late. That was fun.
Yeah.
But certainly, if I was to go to Le Mans, it depends on the track.
Yeah,
because
sure.
if I was to go to Le Mans, I would want to drive the 2010 Peugeot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't get to race it. That car broke down before I got in it in 2010.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
And,
you did 09 was your last year?
Sorry?
08 or 09 was your last year?
11.
Oh, so you just didn't get to race at all?
No.
I got you.
I didn't know because it broke down. We had a chassis failure.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It never happened. And we were doing lap times when 317. We had about 850 horsepower.
Yeah, a minute faster than the GT cars.
Yeah. That car was super cool.
Everybody I talked to that's race champ car swears by that old car. They're like, that was the coolest car to race, the old Reynards or Lolas or
Well,
or
you
the
drove
DP.
the DP07. I
Yeah,
think,
but same amount of grip and power in the whole 9 yards. And now the current Indy car doesn't have as much. Why is that? Like, is that what is everybody in the paddock under the same impression? Like, hey, Champ Car was the coolest stuff we got to drive. Let's go back that direction with this series.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, they're piling on downforce and downforce and downforce on these cars, and we're braking later and later, and you can't differentiate the cars anymore because you're reducing the time. You're reducing the time you spend on the brakes, and the difference you can make compared to somebody else is braking.
Yeah.
Slowing down. If you're on the throttle, everybody's going the same speed.
Yeah.
So I feel like the cars are, we have so much downforce. I mean, we have the level of downforce maybe a little bit more than an F1 car right now. I mean, it's a lot with those big wings everywhere. But we have a little less downforce, and the cars are heavier. So the weight is actually what we're struggling with the most. But except from that, I mean, it's definitely lacking some power. But that's not the manufacturer's fault. It's the regulation. You know,
I mean, because what do you guys make now? Like 700 horsepower?
700,
or something?
yeah.
We could make 1,000 horsepower all day long. They
Yeah.
were doing it in the 70s.
Yeah.
On
We could.
hodgepodge builds.
We could, but the engines wouldn't make 2,500 miles. Like right now, they have to make, I think, 2,800 miles, which is a lot for a race engine that runs at 12,000 RPM.
Yeah.
And that's the regulation to limit the cost. But I don't think racing is about limiting costs. I mean, it's just, if you want to limit cost, then don't go racing. I guess it's like it's a complete paradox to me.
I guess the last thing I would want to ask you, just because I'm thinking of what people that listen would want to hear about.
Yeah.
Clearly, IndyCar had a very bad year in terms of safety things. As a friend of mine, I consider you and I consider Hinchcliffe like people I know. So when I see you on track at the ovals, I'm always a little bit, and I'm sure Haley probably sits there chewing her fingernails off. Where do you see the future of the series in terms of safety for injuries related to helmet and head and things like
Well, I
that?
tell you, and I'm going to be super honest. I think it all depends on IndyCar, whatever they want to do. I think we're a bit of a. I'll be honest, and I think we're in a bit of a stall mode right now. I wish IndyCar was more proactive on safety, and I wish they were going forward. But I don't know what's going to happen. That's a question for IndyCar, but they definitely need to keep pushing, keep being a sport of innovation, like they've done with Safer Berea, but that's too far. That's too long ago. Let's do something else. Let's understand what can make the car safer, what can make the helmets safer, and is this I have a lot to talk about on that, but we'll see what they do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their decision, and so far we haven't heard anything.
If they stayed with the current configuration of car that they have, but said screw it, we're going to put 1,000 horsepower on there, you're going to go 245 mile an hour laps at Indy with safety as it currently is, would that change anything for you, or would you still go for it?
I'd still go for it because that's what I love doing, and I'm in the best team. I've got the best chance to win, and that's I feel that's what I was made to do, made to be. Obviously when Justin Wilson passed at the end of the year, that's a question you ask yourself. It's like you're going to a race the next weekend after that, and you wonder if it's worth it. And for me, it is. There's no other places I would want to be when I'm in the race car. The stress before the Indianapolis 500, but the moment you get into your seat and you buckle in and you have your helmet on, is just the best moment ever for me. So, the competition, how competitive I am, I will never be able to find that sort of competition with anyone in any other job or sport. So the level of intensity in IndyCar is so high. That's where I want to be, and that's why I pursued it, and that's why I decided to go to IndyCar and be here. It's so intense that you feel when you win, it's very, very rewarding. And one win a year is like is an accomplishment because it's so hard to win. So I wouldn't do anything else, to be honest. I just love it. I really love the speed of the oval. It's kind of crazy actually, but to think about it like that. But I love the thrill of it. I love the adrenaline it produces, and I wouldn't give it up.
That's how I feel about PR and Pro-Am sports car racing.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, man, and again for the fact that you brought your friends.
Thanks to the entourage
we
for
ruined
coming.
your day, so we're really sorry about
My
that.
entourage.
Sorry to ruin your lunch.
Yeah.
So.
How was the wine? It's okay.
T'as aimé le vin?
C'est bon?
Wine was good. Cabernet. Cabernet.
You actually made safer barrier sound really, important when
Yeah,
you said
safer barrier.
Safi Bai. How he said it, I was like, oh my God.
Cipher.
All right. I think Continental's got the check.
Thank you, guys.
I'm finished.
Simon Pagenaud. Proof that the system can work. All right, let's get out of here. Here's a song by the Agrolites, also available on iTunes. Again, that's the Agrolites. This is a song called Free Time. Enjoy.
What you talking about? My love for you is grown. She said, I'm gonna